Yes, good evening all. I think 15 to 16 members have joined the meeting. So let's wait for another 1 or 2 minutes and then we can start today's short with instructor session. Can you?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So actually this meeting is, it should be held on previous Saturday and it has been postponed due to the events that has been happened in the previous week. So this week will, this session will be based on week 3 solve with instructor session. And so, and mostly it is based on how to represent that Jinja 2 templates and how to generate HTML files using that templates. As well as we can also learn about how to define a macro and how to use that macro in that Jinja 2 template. And some file operations will also be included in this session. So I think we can start the session. So before that, how many of you have gone through all the content of your week 3 content as well as week 4 content?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you please little bit louder?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. You have completed all week 3 as well as week 4 content, right? So one person.
Content completed, ma'am. The lab assignment type questions are very confusing.
Okay. Yes, Ajit Kumar. What do you want to say?
Ma'am, I have completed also all content.
Okay. Okay, so without wasting any time, we will start with the solve with instructor session of week 3, and I will start sharing my screen. Right. Okay. Yes, can you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is the problem statement we are going to see today. So this problem statement is mainly we are going to work on templates using Jinja, right? So just I will read the statement as well as I will copy this content and share it with you in the chat, Zoom chat. And you can also work on it. And I will just give 10 to 15 minutes to go through all the statement instructions, and if you want to try, you can try by using it. So how the session is going to be held today is based on this Replit. So I'm going to run this, create a program based on this Replit, and I'm going to run this program and show it to you. And if you have any doubts based on that project, what I am going to do now, and you can ask the questions. I said, whenever you have doubt, you can ask me by stopping me here, right? And then, so just I will go through the question statement, right? So here it will be given a data set. So I will just upload the data set and show you how the data set will be. Okay. So this is the data set. Can you able to see the data set products.txt?
Yes,
Yes,
madam. We can see your screen.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am,
Okay. Yes.
going to this, may I ask question?
No. This is the question. I will read it once again. So this is the input which I am going to give it now. So I will share this Replit to you in the Zoom chat, in the chat box. You can also click on it and you can also work through it. So first I will read that question statement and share the link to you. And then you can start working on it, right? So for after that only I will give 10 to 15 minutes. So just wait for 5 minutes so that I will explain how this process is going to happen, right?
Ma'am, you will share the link of this Replit or you will share the link of this test?
And if I share the link, automatically these two things will be there in the Replit.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
We can download. We can download that also.
Okay, now itself I will share. Yes, wait, just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Yes, can you see the link?
Yeah, we can click it and go to the Replit.
Yes. You will go to your login and click on fork so that it will create a local copy for you and you can work on with that, right? So don't directly work on this. You just click on the fork button, which will be available in the right hand side top. Okay.
For
Just give me a 5 minutes so that I will let me explain the question statement. Then I will tell you how to do, right?
But ma'am, we are facing more problem. I am facing more problem with these modalities. Neither we are understanding this terminal command, nor we are understanding this Replit because we are not from the this background.
Okay. Then that is the case means just give me 1 minute. I will tell you how to go to the Replit, right? So just give me 1 minute.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. Sure. Is my voice audible? Can you able to see my screen?
Yes.
And okay, after going to Google, select your ID which is there for your which is allocated for your IITM, right? So IITM ID, and after that search for Replit, REPLIT, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If you click, yes. Okay, up to this, no doubt, right? For you.
No doubt.
Okay. After clicking,
Only doubt going to the Replit. When we put some command, suppose we are working on some app file, and that app file is not working without man because that command we are not knowing whether we are doing that or not because the screencast because let me finish, ma'am. What is the problem exactly? Is the total screencast in Ubuntu? We don't know Ubuntu at all, zero. When we run in Replit, we don't know how to run it. No practice is there, so we are doing it. This is the problem. Either the whole screen should be Replit, or we should learn in Ubuntu because we are not from that background. This is my problem.
So no problem.
Over and out.
Yeah. Can I start talking? Finished? Whether you have finished from your side?
Yes, ma'am. Finish.
Okay. So now no problem if you're not able to do it with your Ubuntu operating system. No issues. You can do it with Replit. I will tell you how to do simple programs in Replit. Then I will go to the demo session. Is that okay for you?
Thank you.
I think your voice is breaking. Sonal, can you confirm that? Can you?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah, ma'am.
yes. His voice is breaking.
Is it okay, ma'am? Now?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay.
Okay, so far what I have did, I am in the login which is created by IITM, and after that I went to google.com and I have searched for Replit, REPLIT, right? And you have to select the first link which is occurring after this Replit. So if you click on this, automatically it will go to the home page of my login, right? So since this Replit will run in internet, you need a browser to execute it. That's it. No need to download any software or no need to do anything beyond this, right? So that is the use of Replit. It is a online based interpreter to or online based IDE, interactive development environment, to run your programs. Okay, so now what you have to do, so as soon as you have gone through here, you can click on this 3 dash, right? So if you click on this 3 dash, automatically it will pop up and you can click on the button, create button, right? So once you have clicked on that create button, it will create. And since our most of projects is based on Python, you have to select a template which is Python. Can you able to see here Python Replit?
Yes.
Yes. So just click on that. And then you can give the name for that. For example, here I'm going to create a example Replit. So just I am giving example 1. And then, so I have created the template, which is Python, as well as I have named the title of that program as example 1. And then you have to create this, you have to click on this button, right? So far, what are the things I have done? I have searched for Replit, opened that Replit, and I have clicked the 3 dashes in the top left corner. And after that, I have clicked on that create Replit button, selected the Python template. Then I have given a name for that particular. So this is the program name. Can you able to see? So this is my login ID, which is Devi POD. And this is the name of the program, what I have given. So since you are new for this Replit, what you can do, you can go to the examples and see how to work on that already existing programs, right? So you can click on the examples, right? So just I'm selecting a simple program, right? So here what it is going to do, it is going to get the input from the user and it is going to print the name, right? So I have selected from the example, otherwise you can type your own program in Python. And after typing that content or selecting the example from that already existing one, you can run the program by click on this run button, right? So this is what the input it is asking, what is your name? And I'm going to give the name here as Devi. And then I'm clicking enter. So what it is doing, this Devi will be stored in this variable, and that variable is printed as the output here, right? So whatever Python program we are executing, that will be represented in this Replit. So the only thing is you should have an internet connection as well as you should have a web browser to execute it, right? So that's all, right? So now can you get how to execute a simple program using Replit?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. This is okay.
Yes.
Up to this it is okay.
Okay, up to this it is okay. So same thing, already I have created my, so this is example 1 is already I have created, now I have created. So I'm going to open already created Ripples by using this folder, my Ripples, right? So this is what I have created today for experimenting today's project. So I'm going to show that, right? So here what I have done here, already I have products.txt as well as the question statement.md files in my local drive, right? So in my downloads, this is already existing. So what I have did, I have clicked this 3 dots and then click on that upload file. So for example, if you have created any Python file in your system, you can upload that file to this Replit and you can start experimenting how that particular file is working, right? So click on file upload, a window will open and you can select the directory from which you want to upload that particular file. Similar to if you are applying for a job or if you are applying for a course admission and all, how you are uploading your certificate, similar to that, you have to upload your Python program using this upload function, right? So like that only I have uploaded this product.txt, right? So this is an input which consists of list of directories. So why it is represented as list of directories? Because the first the element which here, if you see, if you are using square bracket, then that type of data structure will be represented as list, and within the list I am using dictionary, right? So you know dictionary is represented as key value pair. So for each and every items that are represented as dictionary, so this is, so within a list I have created the dictionary. So this is not already this is already available, I have not created. So just I have uploaded this file from the existing folder, that's it, right? So this is the input we are going to give, and using this input we are going to present the output in the HTML formats, right? So for that, let me show you the question problem statement. Right. So is that clear up to this step?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Right. So this is the question statement that what we are going to solve today. So just I will go to, right. So you will be given a data set in the form of Python array, that what I have shown just now. The data consists of product information like product ID, product name, type, and producer, which is to be retrieved and organized, right? So here, if you see, it is not in an organized way, just we have given a list. Within that list, subdirectories, dictionaries are available, right? So it is not in an organized way. So to display in the HTML format in the web page representation, we have to present this details in an organized way. So that is the main question statement here. So how to implement it? So that is represented as steps to carry out this activity. So for this, what we have to do, create a HTML template such that it segregates the given data according to producer of the product. So here, if you see, so many number of producers are there. So I will show here. So one producer is Samsung, and one more producer is represented as Lenovo, right? So many number of producers are there. So based on that producers, the product has to be organized and it should be displayed in an organized way, right? So that is the question statement. So the steps to carry out this activity is also given here. So I have shared the link in the chat box. Those who want to work it by yourself, I will give 10 to 15 minutes after explaining the statement. So you can do it by yourself. Then after 10 to 15 minutes, we will join once again together to explain the demo of that, right? So I will do the demo in front of you, right? So next, the steps to carry out this activity is given below. First, we have to copy the product data in Python file main.py, right? So far in main.py, if you see here, nothing is there. No content is there. So first, what we have to do, we have to copy this content, that is the python.txt data into main.py. And then second, create an external file that contains the HTML template, which can be opened in our Python file, right? So that is base.html. So you have to create that base.html template. So the template should be able to segregate the product data in sections with respect to its producer and display the information in the form of table with their producer as the heading, right? So, so that is represented in the first point. In the second point, the table columns should display product ID, name, and their type. Finally, the HTML file should display brief information about number of entries in each section form. Right. So with the help of Jinja to enter the complete information as HTML file. So save this HTML file as index.html as an external file in the file section of Replit. Right. So the meaning is what file base.html you are creating, automatically that base.html file should generate this index.html file, right? So only base.html file should be created by yourself, and this should be automatically generated if it is not available. If it is already available, that is index, it should be overwritten, right? So that is the thing represented here. So any change in data provided should override this existing HTML file. Sorry. Right. So that is what I have already specified. So in first time index.html file will not be available. It will be created. And in the next time, whenever you are executing the program, it will override the existing index.html file. Right. So it should not create a new file. Instead of that, it has to override. Right. So for file operation, we will see how to override that file operations and all. Right. So these are the things you will learn in this particular session. Right. So how basic templating, how to do templating using Jinja 2, and filters, how to use filters in Jinja 2. And some file operations like opening the files in read mode, write mode, and all, right? So that file operations will be also explained here. And then tables, how to represent HTML tables to present that HTML content in the web page, as well as macros, how to execute the macros. If you are doing the same process or say similar to function execution, right? So macros are nothing but it is of lightweight function, user defined function or lightweight function. So whenever you want to repeatedly do a particular set of operations, then you can create a macro and place that set of operations inside that macro and you can execute it, right? So same steps can be followed to segregate the table with respect to type. So I will show you the already existing, already executed REPL, how the output should be represented. So with that, you can get a clear idea how to do it. So this is already, I have executed this and this is the output. So I will show the output. So whatever index file it is showing here, if you copy paste and execute that index file, so that will be available in index.html, right? So this is available. So I have downloaded this index.html and then I'm going to execute it. So I'm going to open it. So and then I will show it. Right? So this is how it should be represented, right? So in this representation, here we are representing ordered list to represent 1, 2, 3. So ordered list and all in HTML you have learned, right? So this 1, 2, 3, 4 is represented using ordered list. Similarly, this number of items for this particular brand is represented using macros. That is what you have to learn. And then this table information, this is the heading of that table, and these are the content, data content of the table that is represented as rows, right? Similarly, it follows for all the producers, right? So Apple, Lenovo, Samsung, Xiaomi, right? So how many number of categories are available, that will be represented using macros, and 1, 2, 3 representation by ordered list. And this is the table format of printing the output, right? So this should be your output. So from now you can take 10 to 15 minutes. I think whether you can able to open the link what I have shared with you.
Yes, madam. We are able to download.
Okay, then you can start working on it, and then after 10 to 15 minutes, so it's not that much enough time to work. So just go through the statement, question statement, as well as the input product list, and you have seen the output, right? So to get this output, what should be done? You can just think over it, and after 10 to 15 minutes, we will come back, and then that means you don't close the connection, right? So please stay in the connection itself and do it through new tab, and then start doing it. So after 10 minutes, we will come back and we will start with, I will show the demo from the scrap, how to do it in person, right?
Ma'am, once this macros you will explain once more. What is this macros?
That I will explain while I am doing the coding part. You want macros means, so wait, I will just show it in the whiteboard. So just stop sharing.
What is technically means macros?
Okay, just can you see the whiteboard?
Screen is now, yeah.
Whiteboard is visible?
It's visible.
Yes. Okay. I am connecting my writing pad to this system. Just give me a moment. Okay, so macro. So what is macro is, for example, you know what is a function is. Def function name. Did you remember that in Python? Yes. So this is how you will define a function name. And after that, for example, if right? So first we will define, so macro is similar to light-weighted functions, right? So what we are going to do, so let me explain with the function itself. Def sum of two numbers, sum a comma b. And then c is equal to a plus b. And then parenthesis. And then I have to call this function. So just I'm calling that function as sum of 10 comma 5. Right. So what it will happen, this 10, this is what the function call. I'm calling the function using that function name, and 10 and 5 are passed through this function. Okay, so similarly, you can call the function whatever values you want, right? You can, for example, x comma y. Here I am representing x comma y is equal to EVAL of input. So EVAL is nothing but it will convert the input function will return a string value. EVAL will convert the input into string into integers. So for that only I am using EVAL. Enter two numbers. So my handwriting will not be that much visible. So just adjust it. So enter two numbers.
So this is in Jinja 2 or Python? This is Jinja 2.
No, just Python. So he is asking for macro, right? So just to explain how macro works, I'm representing the Python program. Right? So if you pass like this, automatically whatever values you are giving through input, automatically that values will be assigned to this X and Y during runtime. So that is different from 10 and 5. So you can use this function any number of times whenever you need, right? So similar to that, macros are defined, right? So now I will write the Jinja 2 for macros.
Ma'am, here, what is that xy is equal to eval.
That is what I have represented. This input function will return whatever values you are giving in the runtime, it will return a string, right? So, but we are doing an arithmetic operation here, which is addition of two numbers. So what we have, so since it is an integer, if it is an integer only, it can work on it. So that only I am using EVA that will convert the string into integer. That is the meaning of it. Right. So now we will come back to this Jinja 2 macro representation of Jinja 2, how the macros is defined. Okay. So in Jinja 2 representation, so start with curly brace, percentage, and macro is the keyword to define it. And then the macro name. So here we are using DEF. Instead of that, we are using macro here.
Ma'am,
Yes.
here in the Python, macro word will not be used. This tag will not be used. Only def will be used.
No, that is what Jinja 2 templating. See, Jinja 2 templating is representing that how to, whenever you are executing a Python file, using the templating itself, you can convert it into a HTML file, right? For that only we are using this Jinja templating. Yeah. As well as you can also pass data directly to that HTML file using this templates, right?
No.
So this syntax is...
But if we are not using Jinja 2, okay, then in Python, macro tag will not be used. Only def this function will be used.
Yes, yes.
This function will work in the Python, right? But when Jinja 2 will be used, then macro will be used, right?
Yes, but macro is not exactly same like functions. It is a lightweight function, but the working functionality is similar to function. It is not exactly same. Only the working functionality is similar to the functions.
Jinja 2 is used only for rendering the data into the HTML file.
Yes.
Only for that, nothing else.
Only for that, as well as you can pass the data, and that data dynamically you can pass the data to that HTML file, and that will be updated in your web pages. Okay, so the syntax for macro definition, we are using macro keyword and then count. So this is the name of that macro, similar to that here. And then we are passing the variables, right? So here I am representing A, B, similar variable. And then close with percentage and curly brace. And within that, you can represent the statements whichever you want to print. For example, I'm using a H3 HTML tag, that is heading 3. And then I'm printing some content here, items, just for representation. And then within that, you can represent the data also, right? So what data you want to represent. Close it. This. Right, so just I will grab all of this. And then we are closing that tab, right? So just it's printing the brand. So if you want any if conditions or loop to be executed within this macro also possible. And if you want to represent that loop separately also. So whenever you want to print this items, right? So just for an example, I have represented here as only one items, but you can represent whatever things you need, right? So whatever things you are doing here, whenever you want to right? So it will represent. So macro closing is also same similar to that. So, some problem from my side. It's not I think here. And then it is H3.
We can exemplify on the Replit also. No?
Yes.
Whether it would not be better to give an example of this macro on the Replit?
Yes. When I am explaining same content, how we are representing, that time I will type it there and then I will explain it, right? Okay. Okay. I think 10 minutes is over. So we can start with the demo, how to represent that particular templating using Jinja, right? So this is the...
We can copy that text, ma'am, or we have to type by our keyboard.
Yes, you have to type by your statement. Everything you have to type it. See, whatever syntax you are learning in Jinja 2 or Python, you have to start practicing by your. So, ma'am, receiving the permission for others to edit the book. Okay, others are editing the book. Okay. Okay, no problem. We will start with the presentation itself. So, whenever we need to explain it, I will open this whiteboard. So now I will start sharing my screen. Okay, so this file consists of only the problem statement as well as the product information. So this is the product information we have to give us input, right? So we will start doing it. And if you have any doubts in between, we can. Yes? Can you tell me once again? I cannot able to hear you. Okay, so now I'm going to start. So first thing what we have to do, we have to copy this product content to this main.py. So that is the first thing I am going to start with. So I'm copying this product input, which is list of dictionaries. And then I'm pasting this in main.py. Right? And after that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a base.html file. So to create a base.html file, add a file, and I'm giving the name base.html. .html. So whatever file you are creating in Replit, you have to give the corresponding extensions to represent the corresponding file, right? So this base.html file, whatever information I'm giving here using Jinja 2 template, that will be reflected in index.html, which will be automatically created if I run this particular program, right? So that is what I'm going to show it to you. Okay. Okay, now I move on to main.py and then I'm opening. So
Ma'am,
just
can you check the line number 8? Line number 8, I think one single quote is missing, that cell phone.
Okay, so thank you so much. So in type self, is that okay now?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, so in main.py, we have copied that input list. So now what we are going to do, so just I have created an empty base.html file. I'm going to open this file in read mode in this main.py, right? So just I'm creating the file handler, that is the variable file equal to open base.html. So automatically it will guide you whatever files that are available. So base.html, comma, and which mode it has to be opened, that also you have to specify. So here I am going to open it in read mode. So just I am giving R. Right. So now only I am going to create the temp variable to read that particular file, right? So just I name it as template. File.read. So I have opened this base.html, but nothing there in this base.html. I have not created anything. And in this file, it is opened in read mode. So while you're opening a file in read mode, keep in mind that that file should be created. It should exist, right? So next, template equal to file.read. So that represents that file.read, whatever contents that are available in base.html, that will be placed in this variable template, right? So that is the need of this particular variable. So you are just holding the content of this file in template. Okay, so whenever you have opened a file and have done that particular operation, it is a good habit to close that file also. So I have read the file and copied the content to template, and I am going to close it. Okay. So now I'm going to create another variable that is going to represent as Jinja 2 template variable. So for that, I'm creating the variable as output equal to template. So it's showing a red line. Why it is showing means since I have not imported the Jinja 2 template in my file, it's showing this red line. Can you able to see this red line? Yes, everyone? Yes. So now since I have not imported the Jinja 2 template, it's showing like this. So I am going to import this Jinja 2 template in the top of this file. Right. So from
It is due to this template tag is of this Jinja 2.
Pardon me, can you repeat?
This template tag, why this red line is showing because this template tag is of the Jinja 2.
Yes, template is the class for the Jinja 2. Correct.
With other template with small letters template.
This template is based on this content of the file what we have created.
This is simple text.
Yes, simple text from the file. Yes, simple
Okay.
text.
When this capital letter P is written, then it is becomes the Jinja 2 template. Right.
Similarly, if this template is written within the parenthesis only, it is represented as the class, right?
Okay,
So it should be in the syntax format. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay. Jinja to import.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, instead of copying all the text from products.txt file, is there any other way can we import all the products.txt file into the Python file?
I can't understand your question. So I have shared this link and you have opened the link from your side.
Okay, ma'am. The only way is we should copy all this text from this products.txt and we should input it into this Python file.
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever input you can give, it's not only mandatory that you have to give only this input, right? So this is a list of dictionary. You can give any representation for that, so that we are going to present that content in an HTML formatted aligned content. That's it, using Jinja 2 template. And we are going to send this product as the rendering data. For that only I have created this input. This is your question is answered correctly?
I think he is asking, instead of copying this list, can you import it somehow from that file?
That is what already we have imported in this product.txt, right?
No, ma'am,
So
can we read the product.txt directly?
Yes, that you can do it, right? So for example, if you are creating this product.txt as a Python file, you can import it using that statement as import, for example, but here I have not created as py, right? The extension is txt, right? So you can create as import products. Right, so you can do like that if it is a file, right? Otherwise, you can represent from products, import products. So this products is small letter based on the file name, and then import products. So normally this we will use as for modularization if you are having a function module in a separate file, but I don't know, I don't think it will work for a product list type data structure, right? So whatever, for example, if I am, so let me show you how to represent them. So I am creating a new file, and then I am representing new file .py, right? And then, so it's creating a new file .py. In that new file .py, just I am defining a function def. So let me define the example what I have given earlier.
Can we copy the data from product.txt in this new file.py and try?
Yes, let me check that also. But so far, what as of my learning, only methods can be imported using that Python file. But I don't know whether this data will be imported or not. So let me check. Right. So this is what you said, right? Okay, I have copied this and I'm going to import this inspect of representing.
Ma'am, I think he is asking, sorry to interrupt, ma'am, but
Yes.
I think he is asking if we can, like we are reading the base HTML file by opening it, we can read the products.txt file by opening it. However, after reading, if we read it by read lines method, then it won't be in this format list of dictionaries.
Yeah, it won't be in this format. Either if it is read lines, it will return like list like formatting, or it will be reading in a separate lines, right? So that won't be in this format. Okay, let's check it out. So this is what he is explaining. So he want to import it instead of copy pasting. He asked me to import it, so I just imported.
Let us learn both the methods. Copy paste is very easy. Just paste.
No, actually, so as for my understanding, only modules can be imported by creating a new files. But this is a list which consisting of dictionaries. So I'm not sure about it. So for your reference, I'm doing this. But according to my concept, I think it will.
What do you call module? Module is main.py.
No, module is nothing but the function what we have represented.
Okay, function. Function is called module.
Yeah. So, new file. Input. No, showing red color.
This red line, underline.
Red line, but it is unused, only it's showing unused. So let's see by using it, right? So output equal to template of template. Then I'm creating an object to render this. Equal to dot render. And here I'm passing products. This is gone. I think it will work. Okay, I have created this. And then I'm going to base.html to do this Jinja 2 templating, how to represent it. So if you press on shift and exclamatory mark, automatically the skeletal structure of HTML file will occur. So you can drag it and paste it. Shift plus 1. One key is there, right? So what exclamatory mark. So let me write, yes, I will write it here. So shift key plus combined with exclamatory mark. This
will give this macro.
Yes, this will give this content, skeleton of HTML file. So you can just drag it, right? So no need to type it from the scratch. You can do by this way. Okay.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah. So shift exclamation mark is the short key. Okay, and these are the contents that is not mandatory for our project. So just I am removing this. So, and the title is representing product details. So just I am removing this document and I am representing product. So this is my title of this project. And then, so since I have created a simple base.html file, as well as I have a new.py. From this new.py, I have imported this products using this line from new file import products. And then I have created a file pointer to open the base.html in read mode. So this is base.html. So it is reading this particular file. And after that, I have represented that template variable to read it. and then I have closed that file and I'm giving the output to the template. So to use this template class, I have to imported this Jinja too. So I have imported this, as well as now I am passing this rendering content to this, right? So just I'm going to run this program and check.
What is it from new file import products? What this client doing?
This is what, see, actually I have copy paste this products, right? So this product content I have copy paste in main.py. Instead of doing like that, I have created a new file in which products information is there. And this new file is imported here. And what content I'm going to import, that particular list structure, right? So that is the name of that structure.
Means we can import anything in any file in a main.py.
Yes. Anything, not anything. It should be a Python file.
What is the syntax? Yeah, I just want to know.
So
What is the syntax?
Yes, syntax is first you have to use the from keyword, right?
Okay.
After that, the file name. So here, so Jinja 2 is already existing package within the Python itself, right? So
Where it is? Where it is? In this
interpreter, Python interpreter.
where is this file? Suppose we are importing from Jinja 2. Where is the Jinja 2 folder here in this Replit?
No, here, see, that will be available in the back end of the Python interpreter.
Okay, it means
So once the compiler, interpreter, Python interpreter sees this, it will install it automatically in Replit, right? So while I am executing this program, I will show you how this Jinja 2 will be installed, right?
How many tags we can import from Jinja 2? Only template or other things also?
So
Or where is the
only,
list?
see, based on V3 content, the template is the main concept, right? Yeah, so that only template is imported and we are going to work on template.
Okay. Other things are also there, but we are learning here only template.
Yes, exactly correct. You are right.
And in the exam also only template will be asked, not other things.
Yes, only template.
Okay, thank you.
No, exam point of view, whatever the things that has been explained in the screencast as well as in the tutorial, in the activity session, everything will be combined.
Then we are not learning that because in the screencast, pip is there, install is there.
Whatever you are learning, only from that you will get the question, right? Not doing.
But we are not learning that one. So that practical screencast is not being taught here. We are working on the Replit, but their environment variable is there, a pip is there, freeze is there, a number of command lines are there. We are not learning at all. This is the problem. Here it is ready-made. We are just doing it on this Replit. But in the screencast, environment is there. What pip is there, freeze is there, version is there, a number of things is there. I think command lines are there.
So someone will be comfortable in working on operating system commands, right? So for me also, compared to Replit, I will prefer to do programs using Ubuntu operating system only, right? So that is their way of expressing that content. So that doesn't mean that so you can represent the same content in Replit, or you can have a Windows operating system, Windows Linux based terminal is also available. That also you can have different IDEs in interactive development environment, right? So there are so many methods. So you don't think that, so what is the content that is taking in the screencast? Only the content you take into mind.
Okay. We are not able to understand that one of the
Okay, okay, no problem. So if you start solving it one by one, automatically for you, it will be convenient, right? So you can go with the Replit itself. From the scratch to the end of the project, you can do all the things in Replit itself, no problem. Okay. Okay, so where we have left, so we have created a small base HTML file, and in that only title is included, and that file is opened in the read mode here. And I'm going to run this program and show it. So far I have not created the index file. So before that, let me check how this particular program runs. Right, so can you able to see here? So since I have imported this Jinja 2, automatically it is downloading the dependency as well as installing the Jinja 2.
It is installing Jinja because it's in the package dependency manager, not because you have wrote the from install statement.
No, first when I executed the first program, it will not show like this. It will show only the program output.
Ma'am, your package manager has the Jinja dependency. That is why it is installing.
Yeah, that is, it is resolving the dependency and it is including in your program. That's it. Just it's including the dependencies in your program. Jinja 2 dependencies.
What is the function of this poetry lock and file project you have? Function of these two files.
So the main difficulty is you should have a high internet connectivity, so that only it will work fastly. Otherwise, it will just take time because everything is connected in the internet. So it is installing. Can you able to see here? So it's showing some error in this product file.
It's not
No,
taking
that,
the new file. New file by
Line number 8 in products.txt.
Sir, actually it's showing in this line number
There,
7
type,
in this new file.
type column.
no, that's cell
This
phone.
type.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, single quote.
This is not connected. This. So I have to run this particular file.
And we are not printing anything here, right? In main.py. That's why it is not printing anything.
Yeah, I have not printed the template. So just I will give this print template, so automatically you can see that. So now no error is occurring. So just give me. Just I will print the template, how it is showing here. Okay, right. So can you able to see that base.html file as an output? So I am reading it and then I am printing the template. So now I am going to create the index.html file by using that Python file itself, right? So just I am going to open another file. So file equal to open index.html. So far index.html is not available in the left hand side. So you can refer here. So once I have opened it in the read mode, if the file is not existing or once you have opened it in the write mode, if the file is not existing, automatically it will create a new file. Otherwise, if the file is existing, it will overwrite the existing file, right? So that is the functionality of the write mode in file operation, right? So index.html.
In between the code map, print, suppose we have taken this print, this will not affect other things also. No? We can write print to see whether this is working or
No, so whatever content I'm printing using this template, that template is going to be written in this index.html. So once I have copied that index.html, if I run this HTML file, automatically it will show the data like this.
yeah.
For that,
No, I am asking print template line number 7.
okay.
Yeah, this is if you don't have this also, this will work, or this is required to print here.
No, if you have not printing anything, it will just come, it will execute this particular program. So I have not shown any output here, right? So since there is no error, it is showing a blank screen, right? So that only I am giving a command to print that particular template, what content is dead.
So that we can check it, whether it is working fine or not.
Yes, yes. We have opened the file in read mode and we are checking it, whether it is loaded the content in this.
Okay.
Ma'am, in line number 10, why you are writing products is equal to product?
This product is represent. So here we are representing this new file, right? So products, that is what we have inherited from this particular file. Not inherited, we have imported from this new file.py. This is the name of that products, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So that is what we are representing here. This is the argument I'm passing, products equal to products, so that only it will represent that content. Right. So why I am passing this? If I am passing only the same products can, so this product belongs to this. This product, what it will do, for example, in base.html, so far I have not imported the template information. So whatever data I'm going to import in this base.html, at that time, this product will be used here, right? So to represent this particular products, I have to use this products variable in this base.html, right? So while I am doing the programming concept, I will explain you where I am using that products here, right? So this is rendering is nothing but it is passing the content from one place to another place.
Okay, ma'am.
We can change the name also, ma'am. Products, both the one is the variable.
So far I have not used here. So while I have started using it, I will explain you why I have represented equal to products, right?
Okay.
Right. So now we have opened that index.html in write mode. So write mode consists of two functionality. If the file is not existing, it will create a new one. If it is existing, it will override with the corresponding content, right? Okay. So I have opened it in write mode and right. And here what we have to write, so this is what the rendering content, so that content has to be written here. So I have to pass that temp here, temp variable here. Sorry. So temp variable is passed and then I have to close that file. So once you have done the operation, it's a correct measure to close it once as soon as you have completed that particular operation. So because if you see here also I have used the variable file. Since I have closed it, the variable usage is not represented. So once again, I can use the same variable to open the file, right? So that is the use of this close method. Whatever things you have done so far, it will be closed. The file or variable will be closed. Then it has to be opened as a new file, right? Okay. Okay, now let me check by executing this content. Right. So can you see now index.html is created. So far index.html file is not available. If you see now index.html is created, and I will show you what is the content of that index.html. See the exact content, what is there in the base.html, it's also there in index.html. Right. So this is how we are writing the file from the rendered content to this index.html using this Python program, right? Okay, now we are going to start doing the templating concept by importing the data from that main.py. Okay, so now let me start with the body tag. So this is the Jinja 2 syntax for input for representing the for loop. So why I am using the for loop is there are more products in the input, right? So if you see the input, we are having more products, Lenovo, Samsung, more number of products are there. So for that, to represent all the products one by one, we are using this for loop. So now you can able to understand why I have given equal to products. So this is the products here, right? So
iteration of this lines, right?
Yes.
For iteration of this.
Yes, iteration for this line, and this product is coming from this main rendering, right? So products is equal to products, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So products. And then, so for representing the indentation, I'm giving here. So here I am going to use one more filter to group by the product producer. So for filter, we are using the pipe symbol, right? So pipe symbol, it's there in the forward slash. It's the top of forward slash key above enter key, right? So this is the pipe symbol, which is used for grouping. So group by filter key. So actually pipe symbol is used for filtering. Group by is to group the content based on the corresponding column or element, whatever element you are giving. Group by. So group by, here I am going to group by producer. Right, so I will show the file and then I will tell you. So if you see here, the producer here is Lenovo. So based on the producer, it is going to group, right? So Lenovo based producers and all will be grouped as single one. Similarly, next producer is Samsung. So Samsung based producers will be grouped into another group, second group. Similarly, Apple based producers will be grouped into third group, right? Like that it will be grouped, and since we are grouping it by, automatically it will be arranged in the lexicographical ordering, that means alphabetical ordering, right? So that is how it will work. Going back to this base.html. So I'm grouping by producer. So that all are coming under the rendering parameter, what we are passing as products. It's going to represent the product. And then I'm going to close the form. So again the form. Right. So this is the syntax for loop. So for is the keyword, and then we are representing the products in products, and this is the filter symbol, and which is grouped by that corresponding element or corresponding item as producer, right? So it will group based on that. And whatever the producer is grouped, for example, Samsung, the corresponding products will be displayed. Apple, the corresponding products will be displayed, right? So this is how we are representing this. Okay, so now just I will run this.
So ma'am, it should be products, no, not product.
Let me check this. Yes, products. Here we have given as products. Sorry. Yes, thank you. Right, so it is represented as products. And the same
is it necessary to write all products in products? We can write anything.
No. Actually, what
Or,
if
but
you give
products
yes,
should be present.
yes, you
Suppose we
can.
write A or A in products. We can write now.
Yes,
Or
yes,
A
we can.
in products.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
you
enough.
can give any variable here.
Yeah,
See,
but products in to be products because this is actual name we are using, right?
Yeah. Whatever variable you are giving, you have to give the same variable here. The mistake what I have did is I have given here as products, but I have used here as product. So either you can give A or I or B, whatever variable. Okay, so now if you see the index file, it has changed by representing that group. So grouping by Apple, grouping by Lenovo, as well as grouping by Samsung, and grouping by Zoom, right? So how it has been grouped based on the lexicographical ordering, that means alphabetical, right? So Apple group is first, so whatever the content of this Apple, that will be represented here, right? So all the content are automatically written into index.html, and I will show you how to how this particular file is executed. So I am downloading this index.html and I am running that content. So what you have to do is after downloading, you can just right click it and open with this browser, what browser you are using, right? So can you able to see here? So this is what we have rendered so far, but we have not yet aligned. So that thing we will do after this, right? Okay. So far any doubt up to this point? So what we have done so far is
group by man.
Okay.
Group by once more.
Okay, group by, so this is the filter symbol that we are using, group by producer. So what input we have given here, if you see the input, it consists of dictionaries, right? So product ID value, product name, that product name value. Similarly, type, that type, what is the type of one. Similarly, producer is one of the key value. So that key value is used here in this group, right? Clear?
Can you go to that index.html page once?
Yes. This one or display? This one?
No, that one means the previous one.
Previous one. Okay.
Yeah. So here, so once we run, automatically this data has been populated in this HTML page, or?
Yes, automatically it is populated. Automatically. Okay. See, base.html will contain only this content. So since we are using a for, since we are using a for loop, right? How many number of products are there, right? So based in that products, we are having more number of product details, right? So whatever for all the products, it will group by the producer name, and based on the producer name, it will arrange. But according here, Lenovo should come first. But how it is grouping, it is based on the lexicographical ordering, right? So Apple is having A is the first letter in alphabet, right? So Apple will come first. After that, Lenovo, Samsung, and Zero, right? Like that, it is grouped.
Okay.
Alphabetical order. It will arrange in alphabetical order.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So the in the next line we have written like products. So products means like just we are referring to the data point in
This
the
one,
base dot. Yeah.
Okay, here I am
Second,
representing the
ninth line.
product. This one, right?
Yeah. What exactly?
That represents this one, right? So actually how you will represent the for loop in Python programming for I in
program, yeah, for I in something, yeah.
And then whatever you want to print, you will print I, right?
It is kind of print. Okay.
But in Jinja 2 template for printing, rendering, printing the template, we are using this double curly brace, and instead of giving I am giving product. Say whatever I have given here, I have to give here.
Okay, just here we are doing sorting kind of things. So you arrange the data group by the producer.
Sorting kind of things is done by this group by function.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Yeah, filtering with that producer, and then the output would be the product.
Yes, exactly. Everything, the group by will be done by this, and whatever product is available will be iterated or traversed by this for loop, and that will be stored in this index.html in an aligned way, right? Apple, Lenovo, Samsung, Zoom, right?
Ma'am, this group by will be implemented after rendering or before rendering?
See, whatever file you are writing in base.html, that content should be rendered and stored in index.html. So after rendering only, it will, whatever content it is updated, it will be overwrite in this index.html.
Now in the first line, suppose the first line, we are going to the first line, first rendering, then it will go to the product ID and product name and this. Like that, no ma'am? One by one it will go, no?
No, actually, it is a total templating file.
What is rendering exactly doing? What is exactly doing?
So actually what is rendering is whatever you are doing from here, right? So this is the place where you are calling this rendering, right? This product will move on to this product. That means this products will be available in this base.html. So using that products, I am printing all the product by grouping by its key value producer, right? So whatever I have done here, the for loop will be traversed one product by product, and it will display all the content, and that will be rendered in index.html. So this is your content, and for this corresponding data will be manipulated in this index.html. Is clear? Okay, so now so far we have represented all the products which is grouped by the key value producer, and that is rendered in this index.html. So next what we are going to do, we are going to represent this. So here if you see index.html, it is represented as two values. One is the grouper, right? So this is what we have represented as producer, right? So this is the grouper. So this is one grouper. This is Apple, Lenovo, Samsung, Xiaomi, all are represented as grouper. And the another argument is represented as the list, right? So by using the group by method, automatically how it is splitting, it is splitting as grouper as well as the list, right? So now we are going to represent the grouper separately and then the product list separately, product grouper as well as the product list.
Means this group by means all the producer of Apple are in this list.
Yes. One Apple.
Suppose we change ma'am group by. Suppose we change the group by suppose instead of producer, we suppose product ID we are taking. Then what will happen?
Based on that product, but we are not having a similar product ID, right? 101 is different, 102 is different, 103 is different. So there is no meaning of grouping it.
Okay. Some
Right?
repetition. Yeah.
Yes.
Some
For
grouping-
example,
yeah.
you all are
Got it.
studying MAD 1 course.
Got it,
right?
ma'am. Got it.
Yeah.
If repetitions are there, then the group can be done.
Yes, exactly. Males and females grouping like that, right? So similarly, we can group it. Course.
Okay.
content.
Oh, got it.
Okay. So now let's move on to this. So now we are going to separate the product grouper separately, and then the product list separately, right? And that we are going to represent using this ordered list. So the tag for representing the ordered list is OL. And then I am going to represent the type is equal to A. That means it will start with A, right? So this is how we have to print, right? So 1, 2, 3. That means you can represent the type is equal to 1. So once you have typed the type itself, automatically it will show you how to order the list. So here I am selecting 1, and then I'm closing the order tag. So after this also you have to close it. So after this, I will close this. Now I am going to represent that products. So Li is the list element, ordered list element, first element. So first I am going to represent the grouper, product dot grouper. And this Li will be represented as heading H2, heading tag, slash Li, slash H2. Right, as well as I'm going to represent the list. So what I'm doing now is I'm separating this grouper. Grouper is nothing but the product representation, right? So I'm going to separate this separately, and I'm going to print this list separate. List is separate, and then the grouper is separate. That is what I'm going to do now. After that, to show the difference between the headings. Excuse me.
Ma'am, grouper is also a keyword.
Yeah. It is grouper is represented. So how we are representing? So group by itself, this function itself separate the list into two. Separate the content into two. One is the by using the producer only we are grouping, right? So the producer value is represented as grouper. Right, and another one is the list for which the grouper is, right? So here, if you see this new file, that is the input file. If you see here, for Apple, we are having different number of content, right? So that content will be. See, I cannot able to hear you properly. Your voice is breaking.
Yeah. I'm not.
No, your voice has been very low from the beginning. Now it is very, very low. So we're not able to hear you at all. Sorry.
Right, so next I am representing the list using this H3 to differentiate between the grouper as well as the list.
Okay.
So product dot list. So now I'm going to execute the same program. So before that, see the index. So now the index is representing like this as a tuple information. So tuple will start with the parenthesis. So in that tuple, first argument will be your grouper, second argument is your list. So now I'm going to convert this and I'm going to separate into a separate one using this grouper as well as the list, right? So I'm going to execute this program. And now I'm going to check this index. Right. So since I have used the ordered list, it's showing the content. Right. So if you see here, grouper is represented separately, and then the list content is represented separately. This is for Apple, similarly for Lenovo, Samsung, and Xiaomi. So once again, I will download this and execute the content. Otherwise, I copy this and execute it. Right. So this is the previous one. This grouper and list which has not been separated. The next one I have introduced this ordering of list. So that ordering is also included here. And after that, we have grouped separately. The grouper, Apple, Lenovo, Samsung, Xiaomi is represented separately and the list is represented separately. Right. So this is how we are representing the content. So actually, one Lenovo should be 2. This 2 should be removed. So let me check how to do this.
Is it because H1 LI and H2 LI, it is just giving a continuous list? It is not restarting.
So for that, so actually I have to remove this 2, 4, 6, 8.
Ma'am, anyway, when we do a table, this problem will go away. No? So we will make this the second LI into a table later.
Okay.
So it will automatically go away.
Okay. So now when we start with the table information, it will okay, thank you. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to represent the same content in a table format. So for that, let's start with that content. Start the table. So table tag is table. And within the table, first we have to represent the head as an table head that is represented as T head. So if you see this content, you can represent product ID, product name, and product type, right? So that is represented as T head. Okay. And after T head, you have to represent the T body. That is what we are going to represent our content. And in T head, just I'm going to print only the product ID, product name, and type. So I'm going to represent the row as TR. And within the row.
This is template file, na ma'am?
Yes, this is base template file. So within that row, I'm going to give the TH tag. So first heading is product ID. And next one is product name. And then the final one is type. So this is how it has been organized, right? So product ID, product name, and product type. So that one we are representing like this. Okay, now the data part that is aligned within this T body. So in that T body, what we are going to do, we are going to represent, so only within the T body, the for loop should be represented. Otherwise, this will be included. And then this representation, that is the so this should be a
Ma'am, I think.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Here we have to give one more form. Sorry, extremely sorry. Right. So for each product in this list, for one particular product producer, we are having so many number of for that producer, we are having product ID, product name, and type. Right. So that only we are using an inner for loop for this given for loop. Right. So I'm just typing that for loop in Jinja syntax. Percentage and for
Item, maybe.
Yes, item. Okay, whatever you want, you can represent item in. So what I have to represent here, product dot list.
Product
Right?
dot list.
Yes, very good. Because in that list only we are having the separate items, right? So product dot list. And then within that, yeah, tag. In that PR tag, I'm going to represent the data content as
Item.
yes. No, item dot what? First, we have to represent item dot
Product. I think.
within the TR, we have to represent the first data element, right? So that I have to represent as TD. So item dot product item. So let me check whether the product ID is same as I have represented here. Yes, product underscore ID, correct. So item dot product underscore ID. So this is the first TD list, and then the next one. So after that, next TD is represented as product name and then type, right? So you can start moving along.
Same item name, item dot prot name.
Yes. Very good. And the next DD is of type.
Item dot prototype.
Item dot type, no product type. So I think it's only type.
Oh, okay.
Right? So here it is represented as type, right? So you can just give us type. Item dot type. Okay. So far we have created the table, and within the row we have represented the content. So just I am removing this. So let's check.
Madam, one question.
Yes, I have not closed the form. Yes, tell me. What's your question?
I was about to ask that question only. Like we are having only one end statement for loop. So is it required to?
No, yes, inner for loop should be closed first. Then only you have to close the outer for. Right, so indexes, let us check the index, how it is appearing. Okay, now we download this index file and run that index file. Right, product name is missing. So somewhere I have done a mistake. So let's check. Product underscore name. What is the name that is exactly there? Prod underscore name. Okay. So that is the mistake. So just change it to prod underscore name. So if you run it, automatically it will be overwritten in your index.html. So once again, running the file.
It should be in the same sequence, ma'am.
Actually, I cannot able to hear your voice. Only noise is, the noise is much more compared to your voice.
Madam, one question. Here we have item dot prota underscore ID that 28th line is there, and 20 and 30 lines are not in same with not with the same alignment with the 28th line. Will that be okay, madam?
1 minute. In this one, 28th line.
28, 29, 30. If you see 28, the alignment.
Sir, that is actually HTML. It's not following any indentation. Only Python is following the indentation. Here I have used the HTML tag. For your understanding, only I have written it. But if writing in a corresponding indentation is a good habit. But Python will not execute if it is not in a correct indentation. So your question is a good question. So if you see here, so far we have written in a correct manner. Only this part I have not written because we are running out of time. So to make it fast,
no problem. Yeah, no problem.
Right. So since it is HTML, it won't particularly
It will
check that
impact the output.
yes, indentation will not be that much mandatory here, but Python, the indentation is very much mandatory, right?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, ma'am. Actually, my doubt is a little bit different from this topic. Actually, I was making a project of week 4, and in that, I'm not able to see the form data in the developer tools of browser.
In your login, you cannot able to see the data. Is that your query?
Yes, while I was making the week 4 assignment project and the application.py and using Flask, and I was using developer tools to check whether what is the value of my form data, and I'm not able to see that portion itself. The form data portion is not visible to me.
Okay, since it is of week 4 content, you kindly post it in this course. So it will be resolved within 1 or 2 days, couple of days, right? Because what you exactly I cannot able to imagine it, right? So if you post it as a screen picture, automatically from that print screen content, automatically from that I can able to analyze it and what is the mistake there. Otherwise, if it is a technical issue, we will escalate to the corresponding individuals. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, sure. I will post it on this course.
Discourse, yeah, right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now, so far we have represented the content like this, but actually we need the border for representing it. So you can also include the style sheet to represent it. Otherwise, you can display it using just the background color for black for the table and only white for the cells to display. So automatically it will represent us like a border color, right? So whatever thing you can represent. So same thing we have represented here without a border line, right? So you can use a style sheet. If you want, I can include the style sheet in this code also. So we can use that inline style sheet in your program, and after using that inline style sheet, we can exactly populate the content similar to this. Right. So if you have any doubts so far, we will just clarify that doubt, then we will move on to that style sheet. Yes, any doubt so far? Week 4 due date is also 29. Arup sir, can you please exactly
Hello. Yeah. So the week 4 due date is also 29. Tomorrow it's
okay, week 4 due date is also 29. Anything else apart from this?
Any plan to have similar session for week 4 also, madam? Tomorrow?
Yeah, surely you will have all the weeks you will have solve with instructor session, right? So why the week 3 content has been postponed since events are going on that particular week, so that week 3 content has been postponed to week 4. That's it. Apart from that, each and every week, whatever you are learning in that week itself, you will have 2 live sessions. 2 or 3 live sessions, right? So 3 live sessions, right?
for week 4, ma'am. We have 2 live session each week, right? For
okay.
Yeah.
One is solve with instructor, another one is activity and practice session.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Anything else?
Man, for Jinja 2, here we rendered only the data table.
Sir, can you please post it in the chat box, because your voice is we cannot able to hear anything from your voice. Kindly post it. Yes, kindly post it in the chat box.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, in lab assignment 3, after rendering the HTML content, should we print it or should we just save it as an HTML file?
You have to save that file and you have to upload it.
But it is said that I have to only upload the zip file. I mean the HTML file that I am saving. Let's say I am doing the write function. If it is not there, it will create it. So that will be handled from your end, or should we have to do something?
See, whatever you public cases that are satisfying your test cases will be handled publicly. Privately, it will check all the inner details how you have done the programming, coding, and all. Right. So that will be done in our side.
Okay, ma'am. So I am just saving it as a file for every, like in case of student data, I am just rendering it and saving it as a file.
Okay.
Can I answer? I submitted a week 3. So
Yes,
all I had to do was just the app.py, put it in a zip file by itself, rename the zip file with my student ID, and upload it. And those, at least the public test cases passed. So even the instructions say only the Python file you have to upload, right?
Yeah,
and I didn't include a separate HTML file because there is no way to put a template. So I just put the same everything in the same Python file itself. So as of now, that is what I'm doing. I do want to ask the question on, obviously it'd be a good idea to keep the template file separately, but I don't see a way of doing it yet.
No, my question is like what we should do with the rendered data. Let's say I am creating the student table.
No, that you don't need to upload, right? Because it will get generated anyway, and then the test program will check it. So that you don't need to include.
So let's say I am putting the student data, the table that I created using Jinja, and I am putting that inside content 1. So I should leave it there, right?
Okay, so let me, sorry, maybe the instructor, but let me see. So the instructions clearly say that, the program should produce 2 files, right? Output.html and also PNG file, right? And whatever should be written, that I'm sure that the test program will check after your program is run. They will check for the existence of output.html and handle it accordingly. So you will have to produce it. You have to save. You have to get the file created.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, one question is there in the chat box: how to run a .py file in another folder in Replit. So if you want to import it, you can import it directly. But running a particular file, you have to run it separately. Right? So without running itself, you can import a file. So that what I have that just now, right? So I have created a new file .py, and from that file, I have imported that product list. No, sir, actually Srinivasan sir, his question is different. He want to run a .py file from another file. So in Replit, actually, if you see it in Replit, automatically whatever content you are creating will be available only in the left side planner, right? So how you will represent in a different folder? You will create a folder means you have to go to that particular folder and you have to run it. So the file is somewhere in somewhere in layout means somewhere in another folder, right? So in somewhere in another folder, in some folder, then go to that particular folder and run that file. Wherever it may be in Replit, if you just click on that particular file and click on that run button, automatically it will run that particular file. No need to go to the no need to specify the path and all. You just go to that particular file, click on that file, and click on that run button. Not running. Can you share your Replit link here? Can you share the link here so that I will go through the link and I can help you. Otherwise, you can post it in the discourse also. You can share the link here. So next 5 minutes, I can check the link and I will guide you. Yes, you can share the link of your report. Yes, you can post it in the discourse also. Okay, if there is any other question regarding today's session, if there is no question, we can wind up the session. Thank you for participating. I think totally 30 to 40 members have participated. Now 51 members are there. Yes, any other questions?
And we have a deadline tomorrow only for 4th week. So tomorrow is Sunday, so we don't have any session planned for tomorrow. So how, I mean, if you have any questions, probably discourse could be the only option, right? We have.
Sir,
Just want to clarify, confirm.
yes, Ajay Kumar. Actually, so many students are facing the same issue. We have escalated it. If you get any answer regarding that, surely we will convey it through discourse. Okay.
Sure, madam. This session is very helpful, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I will share the replit of my content so you can refer it. You can forget and refer it. Okay. So that will be useful for you. So just I will share the entire content of this report.
And you mentioned some style sheet also.
Yeah, style sheet. If you want to do it now, then no problem. Only 3 or 4 lines I will do it. I will show it now, right? So first I will share the content and I will show style sheet also.
Sure.
So what you have to do is just to forget and work it in your blogging. Then only it will work correctly, right? So don't do it by just.
Ma'am, you shared only the week 3 directory, so people don't know your main.py. So that way, that import part, no, they can't see that from your file.
Okay, then I will share the entire content. Thanks for informing me. So based on HTML already shared. So now I am sharing main.py. Remaining things already I have shared, right? That product list.
Scratch that. You know, you mentioned that for the escapees question, you said that your code has that appropriate import, but you have the main.py in the within week 3 itself. So you don't have an example of how do you import from another Python file. I think that was his question. So
yes, that we have solved it, right? We can able to import it. Okay, let me complete that style sheet also. So start presenting 5 more minutes. Sharing the screen. So style sheet normally it should be added inside the head tag. So I'm going to base.html and within the head tag, I'm going to add the style sheet. So in which place we have to add the borders? Only in the table as well as in the TH and TD tags, right? So for just I'm representing the style tag. And then within the style tag, I'm representing, because first I have to represent the border for the entire table. That is the outer border. So table. And for that table, I'm going to specify the style. Border. So the pixels width pixel size is 2px. Just I'm specifying like this, and solid black is the color of that border. So that's all about table. So next I am going to represent the same content for TH, that is the heading as well as TD. TH and TD. So opening that base, automatically it has been changed like this. And here also I'm just copy pasting it, and then I'm going to reduce the width into 1px. That's it. So just I'm running this program. So I'm going to download this program and then execute it. So just give me 1 minute.
Ma'am, while you're doing it, this is the only way to view the HTML, right? There is no other short way.
Short thing, you can copy paste it and directly execute it. Otherwise, you have to run a local web server to view.
Yes, yeah, I tried links. That is also not available on Replit.
So you can download and execute. So same thing I have done here. So style I have created. Right. So this is how it will represent. Yes, can you able to see screen? I have closed the connection. Yes. Right, so I have changed the base.html and I have included the style sheet, which is represented like this, right? So one for table, I have given the border like this, 2 pixels. So if you see the table, it will be right. So the outer border is of 2 pixels width, and then the inner is represented as single. So only distance, right? So TH and T. So this is how you have to include the style sheet also. So far we have learned about templating, Jinja 2 templating, as well as we have learned some concept in files, as well as we have learned how to include the style sheets for bordering the content, as well as we have learned the filters, group by, and group by will separate into grouper and list and how it is represented. So, yes, any other questions?
Ma'am, one last question.
Yes.
Ma'am, can we discuss here about Flask, ma'am? Because fourth assignment is deadline also tomorrow.
Okay.
Is there any session Flask, ma'am?
You want to start a session based on Flask.
Yeah, ma'am. Like this, we devised today of week 3, right? So that can we have a section of week 4 also?
So that will be followed in Wednesday session. I think so. Sonal, is that right? Wednesday session.
Yes, yes.
Wednesday
Then we'll
session.
miss this chance of the deadline, right, ma'am? Tomorrow only the deadline of both lab and normal graded assignment. Is there any session tomorrow?
So that I will
But
discuss
there
and
is
let
no
you.
session, but you can post right on discourse. You can write it on the discourse with the screenshot. The screenshot. You can.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
But again, Srinivasan here, an unsolicited comment. There is that screencast on Flask, right? So that seemed to have all the information needed to do the assignment.
Yeah, is there. Thank you.
Because most of the assignment, the actual display is from week 3. So if you do week 3, most of the work is done. Only the extra post work, that assignment seemed to be there. I haven't completed it, so I can't say, but it seemed to be there.
If there is any other, no more queries, we can wind up the session. So thank you for joining the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Nice session.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you, ma'am.
One question about the submission, right? I think this person also asked. So you also put all the HTML files in a different template.
Yes.
The lab assignment guidelines don't seem to allow that. And if I have time, I will try it if I can. But now currently what I have done is I put in the Python file, I have put the entire HTML code also, HTML template also, because they say app.py should be put in a zip file and then uploaded. But if there is a way to put the template files also, it will be very useful for us.
So that I will discuss and let you know.
Thank you. And thank you, ma'am, for the patience. And you really, I think it's quite late for everybody. Thank you for the patience.
Thank you. Thank you so much for you to voluntarily asking so much of questions. Then only we can know that where you are lagging and what things we have to supply to you. Thank you so much.